Hello creative friends! Today I have a hand embroidery tutorial for you. I'm stitching a floral design that I created stick and stitch stickers for to put in swag bags for our upcoming spring market. I'm using some designer fabric I bought at a creative market, and I'm cutting out just enough fabric for this mini hoop so that I have a little bit around the edge. I love using designer fabrics because they go a long way with these small little hoops. I always make sure my fabric is tight and my screw is tight as well. Then I like to trim everything off to leave about 1/4 of an inch excess. I've linked my mini hoops and a few other supplies in the description if you'd like to check that out. Next, I position my sticker just so. These are great because they're removable, so you can reposition them until you get them exactly where you'd like them to land. I'm using DMC Floss. For most of my projects, I use 3 of the 6 strands. I like to tie a knot at the bottom of this floss, and it's important to have a long strand and a short strand as you're stitching. Be sure to always pull your short strand up through and don't let it catch to double up your thread or it could get trapped. You always want your short end to pull through when you're stitching. I use a back stitch to outline my design. The back stitch is a great simple stitch to learn. I use it for a lot of stems when I'm making flowers also. You just choose your length, pull your thread through, and then back down. Next, you use about the same distance to pull your needle up again and then drop down in the hole you just went through. On curves, I tend to use smaller stitches as I work my way around the curve. Once I have the petal outlined, I fill it in with larger stitches. There's no exact way to fill these in. I like to change it up to keep things interesting though, and so I'll stitch sections at a time or I'll just stitch straight across. It just varies. When I'm changing threads out, or when I've got about 3 inches of floss left, I'll tie a knot on the back and grab 3 more strands to pick up where I left off. I'm also using a back stitch to go around the center of my petal with an olive green. The fill-in stitches vary between long stitches on the outer sides of the petal and smaller stitches on the tops. For accent stitches in the lighter sections of the petals, I'm just stitching in a few lines in each petal. Finally, I stitched 3 French knots in the center of my flower. For these stitches, I wrap my needle 3 times before I slide my needle back down. It's crucial here that you hold tightly to the thread with your opposite hand while you drop your needle back down. Now for the fun part. Take your fabric out and run under warm water, gently rubbing across your thread as the sticker dissolves away in the water. After your fabric is completely dry, place it back in the hoop, making sure it is in tightly. To secure the back, I use sewing thread and double it up with a knot. I stitch back and forth, pulling in the excess fabric until it no longer shows from the front. The final touch is the backing. I trace thick cardstock and cut it out to size so that it doesn't show from the front. I use tacky glue to secure it on, and then I gently weigh it down with a few heavy items until the glue dries. Be sure not to cover up your fabric with your heavy items. I'm using this hoop for a keychain or maybe for purse decor, but you could create your floral on a pair of jeans, t-shirt, towel, or just about any fabric that you think you can stitch on. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Here are a few others you might like as well. Happy creating!